My friend, welcome back to the podcast. We are going to be talking about the number one pricing mistake, in my humble opinion, that I see myofunctional therapists make, and it's keeping them stuck. So, the reason that I knew I needed to record this episode is because this is one of the biggest coaching topics that I speak on. Inside my private coaching program, I hear so much from struggling therapists that are trying to get out of the operatory or whatever their 9 to 5 is, but they can't because they're hardly even keeping their head above water. Now, I will tell you that this is not something that I struggled with, but I have a great example which will really drive home my point. And the reason I didn't struggle with this is because I came out of the gate not doing one-off packages, okay, or one-off visits. I only sold packages. So I didn't struggle, but this example that I like to teach my students inside the Ditch Hygiene Academy just completely makes it understandable. So I love to get me a good massage, okay? And I love to do it every Friday. That's what I say. But it's not what I do. Now, if my massage therapist was planning on me coming and paying $150 every Friday, if she was planning on that revenue to make her mortgage or to put beanie weenies on the table for her children, she's going to have a problem. She's really going to have a problem making ends meet, because the truth of the matter is, even though I do want to do that, I don't. Okay, something comes up, or I'm traveling, whatever the reason is, I'm not getting that massage every Friday and paying her $150, okay? So the same with your business. If you're doing per session pricing, it's really hard to grow your business in that scenario, okay? You never know what's coming in. You never know that you're going to have consistent income. So I think that's what keeps a lot of myofunctional therapists stuck, is they're forever just keeping their head above water. So I hope that story makes sense. And today we're going to just really try and get tactical on how you can prevent this, okay? How you can fix your pricing issue by offering packages. So let's just dive right into it. So let's talk about why per session pricing fails, okay? This business model, again, in my professional opinion, is broken. But I've built a multi-million-dollar business, so I feel like I have a little bit of street cred here. The first reason I think it's a terrible model is because clients don't finish therapy when they dabble. Okay, they just do a little bit. They quit early and they never reach their goals, which means they do not become your best marketing tool. A happy client who raves about their transformation is your best marketing. Okay, and if you give somebody a per session pricing, some will finish. I'm not saying all of them won't, but a lot of people are quitters. I tell my students all the time, if you could just see the folder I have of abandoned clients, your jaw would hit the floor. And people pay thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars to work with me. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm the type of person who I go to the gym because I pay. If I buy a ski pass, I go to the ski hill because I've paid. Okay, I could never, call me cheapskate, call me whatever you want, but I could never pay for something and not go. Your clients are different. I do not know why, but that's the bottom line. A lot of them will not finish their therapy. They're going to quit early. They're going to have excuses. They're going to quit showing up, and they're not going to give you free marketing. Okay, so that's reason number one why the model is broken. Reason two is you don't get predictable revenue. Every single month, you feel like you're starting from scratch. You're always hustling to book that next exam, to book that next session, instead of building a steady, sustainable practice. Also, your business has no legal protection. So if somebody has not entered into a payment contract with you, you have no legal recourse if somebody stops showing up or paying. Going back to my massage example, yeah, she could text me and say, "Hey, Carmen, I have an opening. Do you want it?" But I have no obligation to take it. The same in your business. If you're doing per session charging, if you're doing one-offs, then you just have nothing. Okay, so they can stop coming and you're back on that hamster wheel. You're back hustling, trying to get another client. And then another big thing here is if you don't get cash flow, a big chunk of cash flow, like I do when I start therapy with somebody, how are you ever going to know that you have the funds available for big expenditures? Like, how do you know that you've got $3,000 this month to pay for Facebook ads? Okay. Or how do you know that you have the money for a new equipment purchase? Or what about hiring somebody? If you're just being very reactive in your business, because that's how it is. If you're doing the per session pricing type of business model, you're just praying that the money comes in and then you're reacting when it does, rather than being proactive, already having that. I can look in my business overhead account and see that I have $12,000 sitting in there. Yes, I can buy that new computer. Yes, I can pay for that advertising. Okay. I know what my revenue is. I, from today, know what my revenue is for the rest of the year if I did not earn another penny. And that's because I have already sold a package. And most people, I will be totally honest with you, 95% of my business pay in full because they get a 10% savings for prepaying for their therapy. So I have very, very few people even on a payment plan. Okay, so why do therapists fall for this pay per session model? Okay, it's fear. They're afraid of charging. They're afraid of charging real prices. They're afraid that nobody is going to pay thousands of dollars for a package. And some of them use as a reason for the per session that it's kind of like doing a payment plan. But it's really not, my friend. It's avoidance. It's avoiding selling a whole package. And using a per session type of payment option as your payment plan, this goes right back to when I said you have no legal protection. If you're using that, you don't have a payment contract. And so, again, they can stop showing up. Now, I have had very little issue with people paying because I do have a legal obligation. Okay, entering into a payment contract is not just something that people can take lightly. It is enforceable. And I will enforce it too. And my clients know that. And they know right up front, because they have signed it, they have read, they know the rules. Okay, so I think I have beat that one to death. Let's talk about the effect on your clients when you sell per session. You reinforce your clients' doubts. Okay? They aren't sure that they can do this or that they want to do it, but if they think they can just try it on and see how it goes, then they're not going to benefit. Your therapy package should be about full rehabilitation. It's not about just dabbling. And if they quit halfway, again, I've said this, they don't get results. And if they don't get results, they don't refer other people to you, and your best free marketing disappears. So the exact wording that I use in my business is, we only offer full rehabilitation. When people reach out to me and they want to know how much a session is to do after they have a tongue tie release, I tell them, we do not do one-offs. Period. End of story. Okay, so we talked about the effect on your client. They just don't get the results that they came for, and therefore they're not at the soccer game telling Susie about how amazing you are. Now, there's also a ripple effect to your business. You're constantly chasing. You're constantly having to acquire another customer. I would rather earn my $5,000 from working with one client than have to continually be filling my cup back up. So I don't want to be on that hamster wheel, okay? You never know where your income is coming in. It feels at that point like you're just you're not really building a business. For a lot of students, and perhaps for you, you're just building a jobby. And you don't want to be doing that. That is not what you signed up for, or at least it is not what I signed up for. So let's talk about the package model. Okay, I think this is the solution to your pricing issue, or you being stuck, or you just barely keeping your head above water. So we're talking packages. First, I want you to draw a line in the sand. Decide today that you are only going to offer complete rehabilitation. Okay? Packages create commitment. Clients are going to take it seriously. They're going to finish. They're going to get results, or most of them. Like I said, you would be shocked at the number of people that I have worked with over the last, handful of years, almost 10 years, that pay and don't finish. Okay? But that's why I have it set up this way, because if they want to stop, that is on them. But I have a business to run, and it is very important to create predictable revenue that you can plan around. Okay, so your package isn't just sessions that are strung together. This is going to be the whole experience. I call this your irresistible offer. This is going to be your expertise, your systems, your guidance, your accountability. They are paying for all of this stuff. They're paying for the transformation. When you price it with what I call happy pricing, so this is the price that is like above your resentment level, but below your I'm going to vomit level. This is your happy pricing. And this feels like a win for both of you, and it feels doable for both of you. Everybody benefits. Now, the thing that you are going to have to do when you set up a package model in your business is you got to get up here in your head, and you have to really make sure that you believe your clients are mirrors. And if you do not believe that people will pay for packages or will pay you thousands, whatever your price is, I don't ever tell anybody what their price should be. Now, I'll tell you if it's too low, but I will never tell you what it should be. But if you don't believe that people are willing to pay you $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 for your package, then they're not. They're not going to think that you're worth it. If you're not confident that you are, they're going to believe you. And again, I will say this all the time, people do not buy therapy sessions. They buy results. They buy confidence from you. They buy a better life. And you have to believe in the value of your offer in order to sell that with confidence. Okay? Your clients will rise up to your standards. All right. So what do I want you to do with this information? I'm going to give you an action step. I want you to audit your offer. Okay? Are you still hiding behind that per session charge or structure? Okay. Are you playing small just because you're afraid to charge for the transformation that you're actually going to deliver? And then once you do that, I want you to decide that you're going to package your expertise. You're going to package it into an experience, because predictable revenue and consistent clients, they are not just nice to have. They're the foundation of a real business. And if you want to be here 10 years from now, you absolutely need to do it. So you're going to create what I call your irresistible offer. Okay. And that's going to be a package. What that experience is in, what's unique about working with you, all of those things, be able to describe that and sell that to them. Okay. If you want help with this, I can help you with that. Okay. That is exactly what we do inside the Myo Business Accelerator. So you can find information on that wherever you are listening to this. Okay. That is all I have for you today, my friend. I have given you your homework. Okay, so go do that. If you have not joined the new podcast community, The Profitable Myofunctional Therapist, Go join that. That's where we will be hanging out with those of you who want to start, grow, and simplify your myofunctional therapy business. And also go to Apple Podcasts, leave us a review. Be sure to follow while you're there. Yes, it does need to be Apple Podcasts. Just get into the app, go all the way to the bottom. It's super simple. It says leave a review. That helps us grow, and it helps us get this show into the hands of other people who are trying to start, grow, and simplify their myofunctional therapy business. And also, if we have any bonus episodes, which I do see some on the docket. Basically, we have been doing this podcast once a week, and now we have got some really hot topics that I don't want to wait until, next year to do. So we have some bonus episodes that might be coming your way. So when you have followed us, you will get notified if there is a new or a surprise episode. More importantly, my friend, until I'm back next time, go build a life that you are absolutely bonkers about. I will be back soon with some more profitable myofunctional therapist magic, and I'll see you then.